with the amazing Al Snow and Doug Snug Basham today. We have Cal, Jet, and Heath here, and I'm not too bruised up yet. But yeah, throwing people around the ring, feeling strong, feeling flippy. Gotta get a little lighter on my feet, and ready to kick some ass.
I am former WWE superstar Al Snow, and training with Emily today in the ring, and she's doing fantastic. She's really a quick study, really picking up on the feel and the intent of what it is she's trying to do, and it's been great. She's a lot of fun to work with.
Hey, what's up? I'm Heath Hensley. I am the stunt coordinator for Queen of the Ring. Oh, this is the first time I've actually had experience with female wrestlers. Well, I guess that's not true. I did a commercial years ago that involved some female wrestling, but it wasn't to the extent that what it is, what the ladies are doing in this film, or what the ladies themselves that the movie's about. But yeah, so this is a newer experience for myself in that aspect.
My name is Josh Lucas, and I like to tell my son, Big Bad Wild Billy Wolf. First major trainer of women in wrestling in this country. Look where we are, look what we get to do. We get to be here and basically beat our asses and each other's.
My name is Marin Avgeropoulos, and I play Elvira Snodgrass. What an enjoyable experience this has been so far. This is how we train every day at work. I have a big stunts background playing Octavia Blake on the 100 for so long, but this is a whole different animal. This is a lot of fun. There you go.
I'm Francesca Eastwood, and I'm playing Mae Young.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that I had 2 weeks at OVW and working with Heath, the amazing stunt coordinator, but before this I have had absolutely zero experience with wrestling.
Hi, I'm Deborah and Woll. I'm playing Gladys Killam Gillum, and yeah, this was my second day of training. It's fantastic. It's such a great way to get the stress out because you're so focused and you're working your body, and it's amazing because you trust every single person in that ring, so you can really go for it.
Hi everybody, my name is Damaris Lewis, and I am playing the great Babs Wingo. It's my first day. Got tumbled and flipped and dipped and tripped, and I feel great.
My name is Kelli Berglund. I play Nell Stewart, and day one of training was so much fun. I've had a little bit of experience wrestling on a different project, but it's been a minute.
Hey everybody, my name is Camille, the Brick House Camille.
I would say 90% probably of the actresses and actors that came in for this film were very athletic, which made our jobs a little bit easier on the training aspect. But a couple of them are actual professional wrestlers playing a couple of the characters, which is even better. It makes the matches look even more intense. We can go by their lead. My wrestling choreographer, Jet Jansen, we had them for 3 weeks ahead of filming. That they came in and we put them through some intensive training sequences, basically how to take back bumps, how to do slams, how to give slams, how to take slams, how to run the ropes and that kind of thing. And it seemed like with each actress and actor, it just got more and more impressive. They embraced their character and they did their own research, and so they saw what moves that these characters, these people did in real life, and wanted to incorporate that in the matches, just to have that willingness to learn and willingness to embrace those characters and become those people, become Mildred Burke and June Byers and Claire Mortensen and Elvira Snodgrass and Mae Young and all these people who are iconic in the wrestling world, not just women's wrestling, but in the wrestling world in general.
Hi, my name's Andy Strayhorn. I'm the director of photography of Queen of the Ring. He sent me the script, and it was early this year, so I think it was around February, and I read it and I was like, wow, this is quite amazing. It was dense, it was a lot of information, but more importantly, it was just a really interesting character. Like this, I didn't realize she was really just a trailblazer in what she actually did for, let's just say, female sports in general at that time. With the post house, we created this LUT, kind of augmented some of the primary colours, the red, greens and blues, and then shifted them towards a slightly secondary, and that gave us that early iteration of what colour was back then, from my aspect anyway. So,
my name's Trevor Thompson. I'm makeup department head for Queen of the Ring. I got a phone call about 3 months ago, and asking if I wanted to work on a project. Said there was a period piece. I love period pieces, so I was really interested, and got the script and read it. Arguably one of the best scripts I've ever been sent, so here we are.
The challenges we have in today's filmmaking is always the case of time versus expectations. It's a really weird dynamic of where we are as filmmakers, because we have digital systems and that have faster ISO, and we have LED lighting, and there's all these great technological advancements, but ultimately at the end of the day, you've got to get the coverage, you've got to get the performance, that hasn't changed.
My name is Amy Schoaf. I am producer of this awesome film, Queen of the Ring. I produced Ash's last movie, American Satan, and when we wrapped that movie, he was starting to talk to me about this back then. He's like, this is our next movie. It's an amazing story about a female wrestler. And I said, absolutely, I'm in. So we went to Sundance together this year, and I introduced him to the Kentucky Film Group. I know a lot of people here in Kentucky. The locations were the main attraction. The tax incentive is an amazing attraction. That's also a saving, so it was very cost beneficial to choose Kentucky. So I've been super happy about shooting here. It's been awesome. I'm really, really proud of this movie. This is a big, big, big movie to put into the container that we put it into, and I have to say I'm just really, really proud of it and what we were able to accomplish.
My name is Larry Johnson. I'm the hotel concierge and hotel historian for the hotel, and I've been with the hotel for 41 years. They started construction in 1902, and the first 3 sections, the north wings, opened in 1905. It was a 150-room hotel that cost $990,000 to build by 1905. There was a record of about 150 employees when they had the grand opening on May 1st of 1905. Otto and Louis Silbach, they came from Germany in 1865, and Louis came to Louisville in 1869 as a 17-year-old kid. And he opened up his first bar in 1874 at the age of 22. And in 1879, him and his brother Otto wanted more than just a bar and grill. So that's when they purchased a building at 6th and Main and called it the European Silbach Hotel.
I am Beatty Gannell, and I am one of the producers of the movie. I am also the UPM. Now on my 12th or 13th movie here now with this one. It's been fantastic to bring my family, who's all from California, my immediate family. They've never grown up here. And so bringing them into the farms and into that kind of slower Midwest life has been really fun to relearn it through their eyes. Because for me, it's just with my childhood growing up.
I'm Emily Bett Rickards, hello. Actress, writer, pool cleaner on the side as my day job. In this movie, I'm playing Mildred Burke. She was a powerhouse of the 1940s, an incredibly modern woman of today's standards, and she broke down a bunch of barriers for women that we can sort of benefit from today, so we thank her greatly. She's just inspiring all around. She was breaking down barriers and fighting for women's rights and women's visibility at a time when that was sort of unheard of.
especially in wrestling, it was illegal for women to wrestle. It was that era of wanting change and fighting for it. Her ambition was as strong as her muscles were, and her determination was so fortified. How would you hold it on my back?
You know, the thing about Billy that is so hard is that in a way he's a pimp. In every way, a man of his times, in the worst way. You know, like he was crazy alcoholic, womanizer, physically abusive. He was a monster, but he was also a bit of a revolutionary in terms of the way he thought about entertainment, the way he thought about spectacle, the way he thought about, you know, sort of the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey circus nature of what wrestling is and what it became today. You know, pre-Vince McMahon, pre-WWE, you know, very, very rough character, to say the least.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mildred Burke!
Hey, I'm Tyler Posey, and I play G. Bill Wolfe in Queen of the Ring. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, G. Bill is really, I think, one of the most complex characters in this whole movie. And he's also one of the only characters that doesn't wrestle. So it's not a physical, demanding performance. So it's kind of this complicated, challenging, mental performance. And he's the son of Billy Wolfe, and Billy Wolfe is kind of this, not the greatest person, you know? And G. Bill notices, sees it, and doesn't want to be like his father at all. So he tries to go the complete other way, show a lot of compassion, empathy, sympathy, kindness, warmth. G. Bill brings a lot of safety to these women who are kind of being taken advantage of.
One of the things I think is most inspiring to me about Mae Young, and I instantly fell in love with her just watching as much, and there's a lot footage of her, is that she was wrestling into her 80s and, you know, had made the decision that she'd be doing it until she was 100. And I find that to be the kind of driving force and the grounding force of you know, just everything to be that type of person. Yeah.
What I found strong about Elvira Snodgrass was many, many things. I don't even know where to begin. She was a very independent woman, and when she traveled around the United States to go to her specific wrestling matches, she'd always put a man's top hat on the back seat to make it look like she was in fact traveling with one. Her relationship with Mildred Burke, of what we know, is a very interesting and complicated relationship. Billy liked to keep the women at odds on and off the ring, but I think they really had the utmost respect for each other. Elvira eventually got the title from Mildred at one point in history as well, which eventually Mildred got it back. It was very short-lived, but they had respect for each other, and as they should. They're both really strong, empowering women that were the pioneers for women in wrestling today.
Hi, I'm Deborah Ann Woll, and I play Gladys Killam Gillum. Well, she was a ton of fun. I think that was really what stuck out the most to me. You know, that you have to have kind of a great sense of humor and a great sense of play to be a wrestler. I guess my uneducated mind about it assumed that people were very, you know, aggressive and tough and that kind of thing in order to do it, but it is almost the opposite. It's a very playful, open attitude, and I felt like Gladys actually, you know, embodies that perfectly.
All right, my name is Adam Demos, and I'm playing Gorgeous George, as you would see from this little bad boy right there, or George Wagner, and then he turned into Gorgeous George over time, evolved. Even I was reading Muhammad Ali's doing an interview when he went to watch Gorgeous George wrestling about how he'd never seen an audience so packed, and they paid so much money to hate someone to see him lose, and that's what sparked the idea to start trash talking. And so yeah, it's been really fun just to learn about the wrestling world, to be honest. But I had no idea about any of it before.
My name is Kevin Castellino, and I play Teen Joe. He is Millie's son, and who kind of is like, ends up going through a lot of the same hardships, but from younger eyes and a different perspective, and it ends up shaping him to be just a a firm foundation for his mother, and I think that their bond is really what helped Millie be as successful as she was. I mean, she was legendary. She completely changed sports for women, like for the world.
I'm Jim Cornette, and for over 40 years I've been involved in professional wrestling, and now, by virtue of typecasting in the movie Millie, I'm going to be playing an NWA commissioner. I get to turn people down for bookings, and I've been doing that all my life.
This is Martin Cove, aka John Kreese from Cobra Kai, and aka Al Haft. Al Haft was a very important part of Mildred Burke's life as well as Billy Wolf's life. He gave them their first shot. So back in the Midwest in the late 40s, he ran most of, promoted and ran the commission pretty much in the Midwest of wrestling.
My name is Molly Coffey. I'm the production designer of Queen of the Ring. So I've been working in the film industry for about 13 years. I moved up, I was very lucky with Atlanta, the tax credit taking off, and so I moved up from the bottom, from an on-set dresser to props, set decorating, all the way up to art directing and then production designing, and I've been doing that full-time for about 6 years. And then the kind of projects that I've always sought out were things that spoke to me more than things that had like big budgets and things like that. So I wanted to tell stories that kind of align with what I want, which feminist and kind of female power stories are the kind of things that I've always sought out. And I've done some period films in the past, so I was excited for the challenge. But B.D. Gunnell, the line producer on this film, we worked together in 2017 on a movie called Perception here in Louisville, Kentucky. And she called me because when she read the script, she immediately thought of me because of the kind of stuff that I kind of seek out. Well, there's this vendor in LA, they're called LA Circus, and they kind of have a monopoly really on old vintage carnival tents. They've provided the carnival for everything from American Horror Story to Water for Elephants, you know, like anything that you can think of that has carnivals or circuses in it, the stuff came from LA Circus. One of the beautiful things too is back in the vintage days of circus tents, they would finish all of the circus tents with gasoline. That was like their weatherproofing, which is obviously not something that's very safe nowadays. So the beauty of working with someone like the LA Circus is that they've gone in and they've made all the tents safe and weatherproof. And they even flew out here and helped us set up, and were just a delight to work with and had a point of view that like really helped make the carnival special.
Hi, this is Tyler Posey. I'm coming at you from a mall in Kentucky. We got evacuated from filming because there's a severe weather, and we're all hanging out at the mall. It's like a field trip.
Every movie creates this like interesting set of challenges, but also opportunities in terms of research and in terms of development of character, and particularly like to watch what this one demanded. I mean, a little bit of me to understand the wrestling that was taking place in the 1940s and 1950s is so very different from today.
Yeah, the cast is hands down one of my favorite that I've ever worked with in my 25 years of acting. We bonded so well. Love working with each other. Like, we really play off of each other really well. But off of the camera, we're all like super good friends. I've worked with Kelli Berglund before. She's the only person I've worked with. But I'm a huge fan of Josh, huge fan of Walton, huge fan of Emily. Got a lot of mutual friends with me and Marie, and obviously working here with Franny is just a huge privilege and honor.
Oh, the actors, we always say this, but like when you find your little actor family, you bond so fast. And especially with something like this, where you have to immediately start trusting each other as you're doing stunt work, as you are, jumping around in leotards and things are dangerous. You have to very quickly say, hey, you're safe with me. Am I safe with you? Wonderful. And kind of immediately form that bond. And so far with everyone on this cast, that's been really easy to make that relationship.
I'm so happy this is gonna be over, but I'm really, this is one of the best experiences of my life, I think. This is one of those turning points.
I haven't specifically worked with any of these actors before, but there's plenty of 6 degrees of separation. Emily Bett Rickards, who plays Mildred Burke, of course, in this film. We both worked for Warner Brothers for a very long time. She was on Arrow, and I was on a TV show called The 100 for many, many years, so we knew each other through that. But I've just met a lot of new friends recently on this show, and it's been such a pleasure to work with Francesca Eastwood, who's playing Mae Young. Her and I have become fast friends, and of course I really look up to Josh Lucas's work. He plays Billy Wolf. And of course, Walton Goggins, he's incredible.
And working with Josh Lucas was wonderful. And Emily, who plays Mildred Burke, it's a good cast. It's really good. And Walton Goggins, it's good. It wasn't going to be an effort that's going to be wasted and go to DVD and you never hear about it. I don't think that's the case here.
The whole experience is frankly incredibly memorable. The best films oftentimes are the hardest to make. There is an energy that comes from, the difficult creative process, right? That in and of itself can create, look, birth is painful, right? And in this case, filmmaking, some people say could never agree with this, but it's like going to war, right? Where there's like such a chaos and a freneticness to it. Particularly when you're dealing with a lower budget, there's an intensity to it that every day we go in there and you try and make it work, and you try and make that all of this volatility, all of this energy, all of this just life come into something that's honest, that's fun to watch. My hope is that this movie is like terrifically enjoyable, and that yes, you get a sense of the danger of the environment, not filmmaking wise, but the world of Billy Wolf and the world of wrestling and the world of, the way that even now, today, there's a level of spectacle and entertainment to it. But at its core, it's violence, it's chaos, there's a madness to it. And being on set, and frankly, this set was so chaotic. It was such a crazy, chaotic production that the only way I could kind of maintain what I was attempting to do was to be, isolated within that, to try and just know that I knew, obviously my lines, but also I knew where we were and what was happening within each scene and each character and all of it, because it was, look, it's a very small, it's a crazy ambitious production, but it's a small budget that is attempting to do a crazy amount of material and locations and extras and story and wrestling, and throw it all in Kentucky and Louisville in the middle of the summer and 100-degree heat, and so there was a for me a necessity to just as much as possible stay totally focused on what I was trying to accomplish. That's all there is to it.
Emily, back up! back up, breathe. Back up, you okay? Can you do one more run? We got one more run, guys.
And we all just get along super well. Like it's just clicked immediately. And I know a lot of people say that, but this is, I don't know, in my experience, I don't know if because we're like in another state and we don't know too much about it, so we kind of have to cling to each other. But we're really looking out for each other here. You know, we're kind of under interesting circumstances. It almost just feels like this interesting summer camp that we're all experiencing this really crazy thing for the first time with one another. And it's really great. We're laughing. It's such a dramatic movie, but we're constantly laughing off camera whenever we say cut, in between shots. Sometimes we can't get through a scene because we're laughing. And so it's just that dynamic all the way through. And yeah, we're really just looking out for one another. I think all of us have the same sort of mentality of taking the job seriously, but not taking ourselves too seriously. So it just flows. It's a lot of fun. We had our first cast dinner with everybody right before the movie started, and really hit it off with everybody. It's just been progressing this entire time. And I'm getting sad that it's coming to an end because I'm gonna like really miss everybody. But now I've got all these great new friends, so it's really great.
It has been incredible working with this cast. Everyone brings something so unique and special to their role. And each, especially all these women wrestlers, they're so unique in their own way. I think that really comes through on screen. Everyone has been so lovely to work with, and we all just dove headfirst into these roles and into the wrestling, and we were all in it together. So it was nice to have this group around me. Ash was awesome. Ash was so great, was really great, just like from an actor's standpoint, really heard us out. Just the fact that he trusted us to wrestle and, you know, not only act, but wrestle, especially since we're all playing real people. There's like a bit of added pressure in there. You just want to get it right. And the fact that he trusted us with all of that is just really awesome. So he was incredible to work with, yeah.
Everybody from all the crew members to all the cast members really have brought their all and like have really brought 100%. And I'm really thrilled. And like so many of the characters in the casting, I had a big part of the casting, really sort of showed up as those characters in a really beautiful way. Like that doesn't happen always. Like, you know, actors are actors and they morph into their characters, but really these characters, I feel like, showed up as their characters, and that was something kind of unique and really special to it. And that just comes to life on film. Sometimes you can't bring that. It just sort of happens organically. And so that was really special, I think. And then just, you know, set in this beautiful setting with the locations, with the hair and makeup teams, did amazing. I brought my favorite costume designer, Sophia. She just brought it as she usually does. And just with everything together, the look and the feel of this movie is like really, really high end. And so for me, I think I'm most proud of this movie, I think, of all my movies so far.
It's just been, I just keep saying the word magical, and I know it sounds a little corny, but it feels that way because this movie, there's so much about this movie that everybody would say is so atypical and shouldn't have worked, and it has. And it's all done that because of, you know, Ash and Amy, and to a lesser extent myself, you know, and obviously you as well, of just pulling this together and saying, oh, come hell or high water, we're gonna make it work. You know, storms or, you know, I'm trying to think all the other things that have gotten in our way and tried to shut us down, and we just kept going. We just kept making it happen.